Hello everyone from Eretz Israel. This week's Parashat Ekev, has possibly, in my opinion, the most important pasuk in the Torah. It has the pasuk that for me it changed my entire Jewish philosophy once I understood it in a proper way. The Torah says, Ma Hashem Elokecha rotze mimach. What does Hashem want from you? Hashem would like you to respect Him and to love Him, do His mitzvahs, right? But that comes from respecting and loving Hashem. That's it. Now, while the majority of the mitzvot that Hashem gives us, we kind of need to figure out what is the purpose of this mitzvah. Why are we doing this? But this mitzvah is telling us something way, way different. This is saying, what does Hashem want from you? Let me sum up everything in the Torah. What does Hashem want from you? Respect and love. And in layman's terms, what is respect and love? That is a relationship. Hashem would like a relationship with every single Jew, with every single person. Our relationships are whatever we make of them. We have relationships with our spouse, with our parents, with our children, with our friends, with our co-workers, with our employees, with our employers, everyone we have a relationship with. And we have very different relationships with every single person. But what they all have in common is you get what you put into them. If I decide I'm going to invest in my wife only 10%, I should expect to have a 10% relationship. I should not expect that she will do the 90% and I'll do 10%. And yet when it comes to our relationship with Hashem, somehow we don't have that kind of mindset. We say, Hashem wants a relationship with me, therefore He should do all the work and I'll give Him 10%. He'll fill the other 90%. And there's an absurd kind of reality that we think about it in this kind of way, because it's a relationship with everything that comes in a relationship. And once you read that and you understand that pasuk in that kind of way, then you start realizing, well, what is the entire Torah, really from Bereshit until the end? What is the entire Torah? The Torah is a relationship manual. The Torah is there to tell us what we should do in our relationship with Hashem, as opposed to our relationship that we have with other humans, where we need to guess what they want. Right? You're married. You want to figure out what your spouse wants, and sometimes they say one thing and they mean something else because they don't always know what they want. With Hashem, Hashem saves us that journey and says, here is what I want out of the relationship. Please do not change this. When people say, my religion, my relationship, you say, okay, you do have a relationship with God, and that is crucial. But keep in mind, it's on God's terms. You can decide to do what you want with that relationship. You can decide to listen. You can decide to ignore the relationship with Hashem. But don't be surprised when things don't go your way, because you're not following the relationship rules. The relationship rules are such as, what are we having for dinner? What is the diet in the family? Oh, our diet is kosher. What is our family time together, our quality time? That's Shabbat. Those are the Chagim. All of these things the Torah tells us and gives us very, very, very clear guidelines of what we are supposed to do and how we are supposed to do them. In addition to that, the Torah specifies and says, if you would like to bring a korban, you want to bring an offering, you can bring from these animals, not from your children. You can't sacrifice other things. You can't sacrifice your children. And you go, well, who would sacrifice their children? The answer is everyone. For all of that time of the Tanakh, you have non-stop stories of idol worshippers sacrificing their children, because it means to give something to some that is precious to me, to something greater than myself. So that understanding of sacrificing, Hashem says, you're not like the other nations. You don't get to decide what you are bringing. There's a list. That list is, these are the kosher animals that you are allowed to and should bring. And the equivalent of that is in your personal relationship is, imagine that you are an extrovert and your wife is an introvert. And you upset your wife and then said, well, how would I like my wife to make it up to me if she wronged me? So, well, I would want her to come to my office with a big banner and a mariachi band, and I would like her to be, you were right, I was wrong, you're the king of the world, right? And then you go and you do that to her, and that is exactly the opposite of what she wanted. And you made things 1,000 times worse. So you say, but I made an effort. But did you make an effort in the right way? Did you follow the rules? Did you listen? And the more you can keep on with this mindset throughout the entire Torah. The purpose of the Torah is to tell us, how do we have a relationship with Hashem? In what way? In what capacity? How do I make my relationship work? And I figure it out by learning it. That's what the mitzvahs are, is to help me have a good relationship with Hashem. What is the purpose of a rabbi? Purpose of a rabbi is to be a relationship coach, or a marriage counselor, right? Someone who says, listen, I read the manual, and if you would like to have a good relationship, here are the rules that you should follow. I see that you are not doing X, Y, Z. Here's what you should be doing to make your relationship better. And it's not about me as a rabbi telling someone from my community, here's what you should do. I don't get involved in people's relationships. But if someone comes and says, I would like to find out why my relationship isn't working, you say, well, let's examine your relationship. Let's look and see, are you following the rules of the agreement of the relationship? This, in a way, very briefly, sums up the majority of my Jewish philosophy, of how I understand Judaism and the Torah. I understand it from a place of Hashem would like a relationship with me. Here are the rules, and if I can't figure out what's going wrong, I go to my rabbi and I ask him, I say, you have read the manual more than I have. You understand it deeper than I do. Can you help me figure out how to get my relationship back on track? And Be'ezrat Hashem, may we be zocheh to have the most beautiful relationship with our Creator. Shabbat Shalom.